Well, hello everybody. What a wonderful sight to behold, you guys coming here checking these videos out. So, as usual, bringing some articles, and I want to bring you some this is good stuff, and it's significant. And it's a show of like how things kind of move slow, but this ship turns. It just takes a little bit because the big ship takes a long ways to get turned back around. That'd be our justice system. And I'm seeing some stuff in the waters that are really interesting and give me good hope. So I hope I can bring your hope to you. And with that being said, let me get out of the way here, and I'll bring us one here. This is straight off the mainstream media hot plate right here, and this is get over here. Gosh, somebody, here we go. Get right now. Give me a minute here. We're gonna get right. I should have already, like I say, this is once again a well-oiled machine. I always say so. This article: Democrats worry as GOP attack ads take a toll in Wisconsin. And Wisconsin passed a law. It's not legal to have these places where you can drop stuff off at. That's all I'm saying. Certain places, you can't do that. It's not constitutional. Now, the rest of the suit needs to follow. And what it is let's not get things confused, guys. Democrats have been running attack ads on Republicans for years. Like bad ones, dude. Like crazy stuff. I mean, look at what they did to Madison Cawthorn from my state, North Carolina. What a cool dude. And what's even funny about Madison is they tried to throw off about him dressing up as a woman, which was on a game show. But if I'm not mistaken, that's stunning and brave. They should have held him up and put him on a pedestal and said, wow, look at this guy. He's not he's not phobic. I can't use certain words, but dude. So they use that tactic to take him out, considering the fact that they advocate for men to do that. That was weird. I don't know. But that just shows you how they can just flip around whenever necessary for whatever narrative they need to do. And the reason why they really done that, by the way, let's recap, was because he brought to light some of the things that go on behind the scenes in the congressional places with these wrinkle parties. A friend of mine from Shannon at Devoted Patriots 2, which comes off of his strike on YouTube, Shannon at Devoted Patriots 2. He's a cool dude. He lives in Texas, and he does a YouTube channel and brings content as well. But we coined that term, the wrinkle parties, from over there whenever Nancy and all them say, hey, you want to come in here and sniff some drugs and get an orgy with our old selves? And he was like, no, I don't want to. And they were like, and he brought it to attention, and then everybody in the speaker's house went against him. And so, but anyways, back to the article here. Politicians who visit diners know the deal. In exchange for photos establishing their working class bona fides, they must cheerfully accept hearing proportions of unsolicited advice. Now, what it is and what they really don't like is these Marxists. I won't even call them Democrats because they've taken the Democrat Party over, or they love their ideology but can't defend it when it comes to any kind of debates. And so all you've got to do is just like pretty much say, hey, this is what you guys are doing over here. That's all you got to do. Anyhow, they hate that. With that being said, let's move over to this article here. Another idea, what we're talking about here is just pointing out, hey, this is what you did. This Twitter executive, please excuse that. I had a customer calling customer. But anyway, so this is what we're talking about. Just point out what's going on. Twitter eviscerates Joe Biden in his 67 Chevy Corvette tweet, which that model could have had a 327, and it could have had two different rated 427s in it as well. It could have been the 375 horsepower 427, or it could have been the 425 horsepower 427. And I drove one of those Corvettes like that with a 427, and it might have been a 390 horse. It was one of those. It wasn't the super fast ones, but let me tell you what, that was a running machine. I got to work on one of those and drive it around to test it out. My good, had a 4-speed in it too, and that thing didn't do nothing but go. But anyhow, you see you gotta love the meme. The memes just cut right through. They just cut it, just like you can get past all political bias because all you see a meme. There's nothing behind it but the words that are right there. The association takes place subconsciously because you see what's going on. You have no choice but to put two and two together. And the memes are actually really where it's at, guys. If you really want to kind of get in there and shoot these people a little meme and make them think. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to say anything. But gas prices have soared under Joe Biden at an all-time record high, and the price of gasoline costs more than $5 this year. And it's going to go way up, guys, because the reserves are running out. They got to replenish them, and this is this is back in early 2020, right whenever you had look at right in here, bam, there we're at. We're headed right in there. Whenever we had Trump, we went way up, and as far as like a reserve, this is prices right here. So this is where we're headed right now in 2022, right here. Boop, boop, boop. It got down in with Trump running things back in right before he left office. The prices were way down to just. I remember paying like $1.87 or $1.95 for a gallon of like regular gas, and I was so happy because non-ethanol, which I run in my old trucks, was like it was like $2 and something a gallon. It was doable, but now you got several things going on right here, and so many of our politicians are not calling for peace in certain areas like Ukraine and stuff like that. But what we've got also is we've got a situation where we've got a monopoly on freedom of speech, and it only goes one way. It seems to be the case anyways. And so maybe this whole, I haven't talked a lot about Elon Musk because I don't trust him as far as like his Neuralink stuff and all the weird things he's done to animals and monkeys and all, putting that stuff in their brain. I don't like that, but I do know that it seems to be that there may be a little better shot of a window of opportunity for allowing us to have more freedom of speech. Now, I don't know what the outcome of that would be. I don't know if this is Elon's a smart guy, and I'm not part of Twitter right yet, and I'll probably get involved with Twitter once he takes over, after I watch things, kind of see how they turn out, because there's a lot of good content that I could bring you guys that I'm not able to see because I just don't do Twitter right now. And I'm not against it if I can, if it's going to be a outlet where it's sort of free and all that fun stuff. I hope. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch, but here's what Bannon has to say a little bit about a little bit of what's going on here. And let me get to the video here.
From very close sources, that is because Twitter came back and said, hey, we'll actually knock a couple of $1 billion off the price if you commit to two things. Number one, not let Trump and the conservatives back on Twitter that we've already banned, right? Number two, if you allow the management team to stay. And my understanding is that Elon Musk was not prepared to do either one and said, no, the deal's a deal.
If Elon Musk does ever take over Twitter, I think it's interesting to point out now. We'll watch how quickly Twitter abandons their whole movement. The whole private companies can do whatever they want. I'm sure we'll see that abandoned quite fast.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, our what is this? That's a conservative-based person right there. I have a beautiful wife, so all I'm going to point out is the fact that you need to go watch some left-wing news and look at the AIDS-riddled people like Richard Madcow and Joy Behar and what's her name, Whoopi Goldberg, the tank air compressor. I got a funny thing about that. Anyways, that's because darkness kind of emanates throughout the soul. If you're an ugly person on the inside, it makes you ugly on the out. And if you're beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside, then you glow. You glow. You don't have to be a beautiful dude. Like, take me, for instance. Look how beautiful I am because of my insides, right? Right? Anybody? If I could fill myself up, I would, but it's just not going to happen, guys. But anyways, I'm just glad to be here, and I'm just blessed, and I've got a wonderful, beautiful wife and wonderful kids. A lovely life of just, I don't have to ever wonder what I'm going to do next. I've always got something. I'm never bored, and I'm only not trying to toot my own whistle, but what I'm getting at is if clarity in thoughts, believe in God, have a wonderful relationship with that, embrace the simple things, be thankful for what we have, just the little things, dude, because we can see, we've got a wonderful spectrum of colors we can see. There's so many beautiful animals out there we can just look at and know that there's life out there. We're not alone. So always be thankful for that. When you can do that, a lot of times that comes out of you. You have a natural. You don't have a resting bitch face like a lot of these lefties do, because they're just so angry. But with that being said, speaking of resting bitch face, this is going to really get the lefties going. A federal judge boycotts radical clerks from Yale Law School, blames Yale anti-free speech scandals. So like, dude, check this out. Let me read a little more into it. And I was really excited. This is what I was talking about earlier about some of the things that are really nice to know are kind of going in a direction that seems to be better, a little bit better. But he cited examples of speakers being censored on campus as one of the reasons that he is boycotting Yale clerks. Judge James C. Ho of the U.S. Court of Appeals, and a name like that is going to be, I would imagine, could very well be of an Asian descent. And I'm not pointing out any race, but I'm just letting you know that you're looking at a situation where the left would love to point out race and use that to their advantage some kind of which way. I'm fine with whoever does what as long as it's like kind of like free and everything, you know, everybody get along. But anyways, I'll digress. See, he's a U.S. Court of Fifth Circuit announced Thursday that he would no longer be hiring law clerks from Yale Law School and urged other judges to follow suit in a keynote address to Kentucky Chapter's conference of the Federalist Society titled Agreeing to Disagree. Restoring America by Resisting Cancel Culture, Ho cited a number of high-profile examples of speakers being shouted down for otherwise censored at law schools across the country, but being singled out at Yale. And if I'm not mistaken, I would imagine that once a couple of the stories almost line up with what Jordan Peterson was talking about in situations where he was shouted down and intimidated, and he was kind of afraid for himself a little bit because of the angerness of the crowd. But these boycott catches among other right-leaning judges. It could deal a serious blow to Yale Law School. And there's like, I think, a dozen more judges that's followed suit. And it says here, the judges of boycott who request anonymity in order to speak freely cited the series of incidents where they say free speech has come under attack at Yale, starting with a September 2021 controversy where its administrators pressured second-year law students, Trent Colbert, to apologize for an email in which he referred to his apartment as a trap house. Dude, he was just trying to point out the fact that these kids at law school are selling dope all out of these places. So the law school's diversity director, Yassine Eldick, also described Colbert's, I guess, membership in a conservative Federalist Society as triggering, according to leaked audio obtained by Free Beacon, and more than 100 woke Yale Law students disrupted bipartisan panel on civil liberties. So this is what it's all leading up to. These people have been angry. And another one was 120 students showed up to protest the event where they outnumbered the audience members and then held up signs attacking the Alliance Defending Freedom, which won several Supreme Court cases establishing religious exemptions from civil rights laws. So you reckon Yale's going to feel that a little bit, guys? So that is a good sign, a really good sign so far as like, you know, if you're going to, you take some of the cases that's going down like with Alex Jones and the problems that he's incurred because of the fact of some kangaroo courtroom antics that these woke judges have allowed to happen. That has to be put to a stop, because of the fact that that's going to distort law even worse than what it is, guys. We already have a problem with that to a certain extent. And you know lawfare is the left's favorite thing to do because they don't do anything. They don't go outside. They don't enjoy, they don't work on anything out. If you put lefties in a fluorescent room, they thrive. They love being in an office. They love being in cubicles. They love finding ways to get at people because that's part of how they function. They function on a negative output. And so what happens is they figure out a way to get to people through lawfare. By the way, this YouTube channel is my way to get to them, in case you didn't know that. So I kind of am practicing somewhat of the same antics. But the fact of the matter is I'm trying to just free people. I want everybody to have a wonderful, prosperous life. I want us all to be lifted off of this terrible tyranny that's been instilled upon us. Because right now we're in a situation where our finances could be dictated where we spend it, which means that how can we support a candidate that has a dissenting view on political situations that could be in a positive direction that could help take the country in a freer, better place where everybody could love each other and everybody could be happy. That scares the left. They don't want that. They don't want anybody to unite. By the way, go to a Trump rally. Check it out. There are hundreds of transgender people who have this whole organization called Trans for Trumps. Matter of fact, yesterday, Trump spoke at not at a rally, but a speech, a conference that had to do with Latinos and the people that are helping him, because Latinos know that for God and country and love and prosperity. So, dude, check it out. Anyways, I want to let you know that I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough. Also have another YouTube channel called We'll Fix It with an exclamation point. I do repairing and I do vintage things. We got all kind of stuff. Hit and miss motors. We're getting ready to do videos on that. But I love to just get a genre of stuff. And I'm working on a Ford truck and they're now changing the motor. And I'm letting the camera roll and just kind of talking to, like, if people were standing in front of me and I'd like to tell stories about myself. And so maybe you'll enjoy some of that content if you like to just kind of just disconnect for a little bit and just look at seeing what goes on behind the scenes at the shop here. So thank you very much. We'll fix it with an exclamation point. I'm on Rumble as well. We march them all with one word, and I try to bring stuff that YouTube will not allow me. I don't do videos every day there, but when I do, it's usually pretty hard hitting stuff. And I'll put that in my community section of this channel so that you can know where to go to find me and what that stuff has to do. And that's, kind of where I started this channel at. But anyways, thank you very much again. Lots of love. God is in control.